You know, I sent Rob Dew and Aaron Dykes up to Canada, and they were really impressed with Alan Watt. He's really a classy guy. And I've interviewed him many times over the years here on the radio, but getting to see him on high-def TV, editing him for the film, he's a neat guy. And he's going to be in Fall of the Republic 1 and 2. In fact, even more in 2, though he's one of the central figures in Fall of the Republic 1, along with Webster Tarpley and Jesse Ventura and John Perkins and Max Keiser and G. Edward Griffin and just so many other people, Gerald Salente. The list goes on and on. The film is absolutely jam-packed. Of course, I'm in it. Here's the world premiere of our 4th trailer. We had the first trailer, kind of sneak peek, 2 months ago. Then we had another trailer that we released that just gave you kind of a general idea, and then now this latest trailer. So actually, this is the 3rd trailer. And the 4th trailer is coming out next week. I'm going to have a total of 5. But here is the newest trailer. It's up on Infowars.com. We just uploaded it for PrisonPlanet.tv members in the highest quality. It's also been posted for everybody to see at falloftherepublic.com. All the trailers are there in one spot. And as new ones come out and sneak peeks come out, you'll be able to see it. But here is the world premiere of the TV Mind Control trailer of Fall of the Republic. This is a sneak peek into a 20-minute section of the 2-hour, 20-minute film. Here it is.
Most people still today think that all entertainment to do with movies, drama, is therefore nothing more than their entertainment. It never, ever was that case.
Throughout history, social engineers have refined techniques designed to control large populations.
It is bringing entertainment to thousands of people, right in the comfort of our own homes.
You're actually in an alpha state being completely downloaded with new ideas.
A cult of personality can be manufactured to influence the masses.
Nobody will question what he's doing. They'll be so preoccupied with where he is or what he's wearing.
Yes, we can.
The idea of making him into a celebrity.
Eventually, he said, they will expect the media to do all their thinking and reasoning for them. That's happened today.
The scientific dictatorship understands what makes human beings tick, and they're using it against us.
These cells are scanned by a stream of electrons, completing 30 pictures a second.
It's hard for people like that to take a serious interest in what their elected officials are doing. They've been programmed.
It's Obama's role to front for the international banking syndicate.
Barack Obama is a puppet of the New World Order.
Is this some sort of New World Order?
The New World Order is emerging.
For the first time in history, we really have this new form of an empire.
The average man and woman is in a trance. They get home from work, they don't even talk to their children. They turn the television on, and they let those corporate messages set the agenda in their lives.
You got time to watch baseball. You got time to entertain yourself. But a knowledgeable public we're losing.
Kill your television, or at least turn it off a few hours a day. The children aren't even playing in your front yards anymore.
We don't want to live under a world government of the corporations, by the corporations, and for the corporations.
Fall of the Republic. Volume 1, The Presidency of Barack Obama. Obama is the latest version of 21st century mass mind control. Available on DVD at Infowars.com and online at PrisonPlanet.tv. October 21st, 2009. So there is the 3rd trailer, 4th coming out next week, and the 5th, the day before it comes out. We got some special sneak peeks, too, for folks just at PrisonPlanet.tv. For the balance of the radio show, we'll have a quick economic coverage the last 5 minutes. Is Alan Watt joining us from Canada. Alan, so much is happening. They're imploding the dollar. They're bringing in world government. They're openly saying no babysitting, no selling watermelons on the side of the road. We're going to give you $100,000 fines for garage sales. The same plans in Europe, in Asia, in the U.S. are being implemented. Same names. Open announcement of world government. There's no more debating it. This is the true emergence. I want to go over all of this with you today. But before we get into that, what is most important right now in the mind of Alan Watt in your deep reflection and analysis as you cut through the matrix. What's key that's developing right now that Alan Watt thinks we should all know about?
I think we should know what the New World Order really is. It's a non-democratic system, a world to be ruled by experts and professionals from all different sciences, including all the social sciences. They go under the term of world peace, and that sounds nice and fuzzy to most people, but when you break down in their own writings, from their own writings, what they mean by world peace, it literally is a form of totalitarianism from birth to grave, to do with, in fact, they wanted to separate the children completely from parents so they wouldn't be contaminated with old-fashioned values and ideas. But they found with scientific indoctrination, it's kindergarten onwards, any parental input is made null and void. And so they've pretty well reached that stage. They can literally program the generations with every intake, every year of kindergarten, upgrade incrementally for what they will experience in their lifetime, and they'll accept that which they experience because they've been taught it at school as coming. So what you're looking at really is a totalitarian world system. A depopulation plan is at the top of it too. The unfit, as they call them, in a post-industrial era. Remember, too, all the scientists across the world now and all the professions believe in evolution. It's taught right off the bat. They believe in Darwinian evolution, survival of the fittest. They believe that we're the old man. All the old types that used to work in factories, the blue-collar workers, are now obsolete with the emergence of science and robots and genetic technology. They can create new types of better servants and not as many as they have now. All of this is coming down the pipe, as we see. Even the move, as you say, to stop neighbors from looking after your child for a couple of hours when they run off for some groceries is forbidden across the board in all the countries at the same time, as you say. And that is also to stop contamination and bonding to other people in your little locality with old-fashioned ideas. It's okay to put them into a recommended state-approved daycare place for a day because they get the correct kind of indoctrination.
And simultaneously, Europe and the U.S. and England and Canada announced they want year-round school, and the internal documents 20 years ago said to break up the families entirely. They've got the men and women working overtime so they can't spend time with their kids. And then if you want to use the neighbor, in fact, it even said in England, BBC, 2 groups of police officers aren't allowed to watch their own kids. And the thing was, wow, even the godlike police aren't allowed to watch their kids.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
And then now 20,000 homes in England, they have cameras watching the kids that they go to bed on time, eat what they're supposed to. This is Orwell.
Yes, and they said that's a pilot project for the rest of the country. And whatever happens in Britain eventually, very rapidly actually, is introduced across the British Commonwealth. And we're still a Commonwealth. We're still basically a subsidiary of Britain. And then the U.S. picks it up very quickly too. Everything's working together because we're already under a global system. We have been for a long time. And before even the war that started on Iraq, the first one, Gulf War I, we're being fed on the news that we're all global, global, global. We went back to being national again when they wanted recruits for the military. They've kept that up for face value, but in reality, they've really rolled ahead with the globalism. And every law, really, that comes down to every nation comes from one of the departments of the United Nations, is signed into treaty automatically in all the countries.
And we're going to speak more about that, but since you mentioned the military, notice how in March of last year, in the U.S., in England, and in Canada, but also in Ireland and Scotland, simultaneously, because I'm, just like you do, scanning all the Western media, also Asian media that's in English, simultaneously on the same day, they deployed troops in downtown cities and said, oh, they're just helping with drunk drivers, helping with checkpoints, and now it's in, and then they go, oh, yes, it's for terrorists and for gun owners. So right as they implode the economy, they deploy the troops worldwide and then admit it's global. I mean, it's all a private corporate Borg deploying this, now coming after our farms and ranches, our children, any form of independence.
Yes, they laid out the plan a long time ago when they set up the League of Nations, the forerunner of the United Nations, and in their own charter they said eventually they'd ban all private property. They'd also have to eradicate farming because farming was too important to be left to farmers. Big corporations would run the farming of the world. We're simply going through a pre-planned agenda, but now with the century of change, and that's the key to it, this is the century of change that all academia was talking about for 50-odd years. We're into the century of change. It's not democratic. We see now the rise of this entity, this legal entity of the EU, Economic Union, as a sovereign new Soviet, a bigger Soviet system than the old Soviet system, non-democratic, that admits in its own publications and in the major media